Today, I am a role model, says Angel Reese. I take that seriously, says Angel Reese. Okay, girl, you're my angel. Okay, fine. Angel Reese is the example we want to set for the people that we are being role models to. Is the example that we want to set. If we don't get our way, we throw a temper tantrum. If we don't get our way, we throw a hissy fit.
Angel Reese gets cheered not for dropping buckets, not for leadership, but for literally quitting mid-game like it's some kind of masterclass in how not to inspire kids. Seriously, when did walking away become the new highlight reel? It's like watching a motivational speaker slam the mic down and storm off stage, yet somehow the crowd applauds. Buckle up, because this story isn't about basketball, it's about how to fail upwards with a smile.
It is over. That is the last you will see Angel Reese in a Chicago Sky uniform with the antics and the stuff she pulled to end this season. She straight up quit on this team the last 3 games of the season, refused to play. She disrespected her teammates. Her teammates went back and fired back, letting it be known, hold on, shorty, we're not going for that. Now the Angel Reese stands invaded the Chicago game, screaming out, fire Jeff P, who is the GM.
Angel Reese is now living in a world where walking away gets more cheers than making a game-winning shot. You'd think she had just dropped 50 points, broke a record, and signed autographs for orphans all in one night. But no, the ovation came from doing the exact opposite. She quit. She literally took her ball and went home. And somehow, this is the moment the crowd chose to erupt like confetti cannons had just gone off.
Game, all excited. Oh, I'm gonna watch my favorite player, Angel Reese, only to find out, oh, she's busy sticking it to the man, the Chicago Sky organization. Hey, why isn't Angel Reese playing, Mom, Dad? Well, she threw her teammates under the bus. The organization reprimanded her accordingly, and now she just quit on the team. Oh. Is this somebody I should be looking up to? No. Let's get out of here, son.
If quitting mid-game is the new definition of greatness, then half the kids in middle school sports deserve MVP trophies. Every time little Timmy stormed off because the ref didn't call traveling, he was actually pulling a Hall of Fame move. Who knew that pouting and walking away was the secret path to applause? If that's the case, then we've been doing sports wrong this whole time.
Jeff, fire Jeff. That is Jeff Pagliosa, the GM of the Chicago Sky. Damn. I can spot a nickel in the 3rd row, section C3. Angel Reese, you ain't selling no tickets. You ain't selling no tickets. I can spot a nickel right there. Right there. Listen, the Angel Reese fans letting it be known, they want this GM fired, y'all. This is not ideal. I pour my heart and soul into this job. I lose sleep over losing. If anyone is going to take the bullets, I'd rather be me over our head coach or our players. Jeff P out there on his own, man.
Forget practice, forget conditioning, forget hours of drills. All you really need is a dramatic exit and a fan base willing to clap for bad decisions. The wild part is, Angel Reese was supposed to be more than this. She was supposed to be the symbol of women's basketball rising, the face of grit, hustle, and swagger. The person kids looked up to when they needed proof that hard work beats excuses.
Hey, Angel. Are you frustrated with the organization or frustrated in general?
I don't think I'm frustrated. I probably am frustrated myself right now. I think the language is taken out of context, and I really didn't intentionally mean to put down my teammates because they've been through this with me throughout the whole year. They've busted their ass just how I busted my ass. They showed up for me through thick and thin and in the locker room when nobody could see anything. So I would apologize to my teammates, which I already.
But what are they getting instead? A lesson in, if it gets too tough, just leave. Kids aren't watching her for scoring averages anymore. They're learning the art of the mid-game walk-off. Somewhere, there's a 7-year-old practicing their angry exit shuffle in front of a mirror because that's what the role model just showed them. Think about how far women's basketball has come. Visibility is growing, ratings are climbing, people are actually tuning in. That's the most confusing part of this entire saga. Fans applauding like she pulled off some noble act of courage. It's like clapping when a firefighter drops the hose and says, "You know what? The flames are too hot today. I'm going home." You wouldn't cheer that. You wouldn't call it empowering. You'd be asking, what just happened and why are we rewarding it? But in the bizarre, upside-down universe of modern sports fandom, walking away gets a standing ovation. And this is where the role model factor gets tricky. Athletes don't get to choose whether they influence kids or not. The second they go viral, the second they get endorsement deals, the second their highlights play on ESPN, they're role models.
Angel Reese, she's shutting herself down for the rest of the season.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah.
Oh my God.
You know what? She's not gonna be missed.
No, that's ridiculous.
Here we go. Alabama versus Wisconsin. Alabama's ranked number 19 right now. I would take Alabama.
Whether they like it or not, kids are watching. And when those kids see Angel Reese clapping back at critics one day and storming out of a game the next, they're not learning resilience. They're learning that drama wins. Now, I get it. Every athlete has bad days. Everyone hits a breaking point. But the applause, that's where things take a turn. Because when you cheer for quitting, you're sending a message louder than any motivational poster ever could. You're telling kids that it's not about pushing through adversity. It's about knowing when to make a scene so people clap for you. It's not about being a team player. It's about being the main character. This is where sports culture is getting really weird. Forget the scoreboard, forget the fundamentals, forget the grind. Just make the headlines and watch the fans cheer like you just cured world hunger. The problem is, this doesn't just hurt Angel Reese, it hurts the entire sport. Because women's basketball is finally in the spotlight, and instead of showcasing resilience, the big story is about someone quitting mid-game and getting celebrated for it. That's not growth. That's sabotage, wrapped in applause. You can't build a sport on highlight reels of walk-offs. You need heroes who stay in the fight, not ones who storm out the second it stops going their way.
She has her little back warmer brace thing around her warm-up gear. She didn't even have her hair tied up, and she didn't play in the first half. And then after the first half, we get this announcement. So you guys, this is actually in the middle of the game. She has never entered the game yet. We get this announcement. It says, after serving a suspension during the first half of tonight's game versus the Las Vegas Aces, Angel Reese has been ruled out for the second half due to a back injury for the team. I'm laughing because it's just all so...
But let's talk about those fans for a second. Why are they enabling this? Why are they applauding something so obviously toxic? Part of it is the social media effect. People love a good villain turned hero narrative. They love chaos. They love drama. They love to cheer for the person who doesn't care what anyone thinks. But here's the twist. Kids do care what their role models think. And when their role models tell them that walking away is applause-worthy, those kids are the ones who pay the price. It's not empowerment to quit when you're supposed to lead. It's not strength to walk away from teammates who are still fighting. It's not growth to model bad habits for kids who are watching your every move. It's ego dressed up as bravery, and people are clapping because they don't want to admit they're encouraging the wrong thing. Picture this, a Little League baseball game. One of the kids strikes out, throws his helmet, and stomps off the field. Now imagine the parents in the stands standing up and giving him a round of applause. Imagine them yelling, "Yes! Show that bat who's boss. Way to leave the game behind." Everyone would think they'd lost their minds. That's the real play here. She's not trying to inspire kids, she's trying to dominate the timeline. But the timeline doesn't raise the next generation of athletes. Coaches do, parents do, role models do.
Tyler Marsh credit. That was some good bullshit. This dude is a master polisher. Tyler Marsh went above and beyond. He didn't just use the regular polish. This dude grabbed the chrome polish and put a double coat on this turd. For the most part, I noticed that Tyler Marsh was talking about Angel Reese on the court. He was talking about her preparation. He was talking about her work ethic. He was talking about her commitment to pretend basketball, her competitive.
Those role models are supposed to show kids that no matter how rough it gets, you stay in the fight. You don't have to win every battle, but you show up, you put in the work, you finish what you started. That's the whole point of sports. It teaches life lessons you carry forever. Except now, the lesson kids are getting is quit loudly and people will clap. And let's be honest, this applause wasn't really about bravery. It was about people wanting to feel like they were part of a moment. Fans love to be part of history, even if the history is embarrassing. They'll cheer for anything if it makes them feel like they're in on the drama. And Angel Reese gave them just that. A moment to clap, a story to tell, a controversy to defend. Forget the scoreboard, forget the sport. What matters is the spectacle. But in the long run, that spectacle backfires. The ripple effect. because when one high-profile player gets applauded for quitting, it sets a tone that echoes through every gym, every practice, every youth league. Suddenly, quitting isn't seen as giving up. It's seen as a statement. It's not weakness, it's empowerment. And you better believe kids pick up on that.
Looks like everything has come to a head, and when one of the biggest sports media entities in the country, The Athletic, which is now owned by the New York Times, comes out and makes this statement, well, maybe this is exactly what we all thought. Angel Reese may have thrown her teammates under the bus, ran the bus over them, and then proceeded to just quit and protest on the team.
The next time a 10-year-old doesn't get the ball enough, they're not going to talk to their coach. They're not going to work harder in practice. Nope. They're going to channel their inner Angel Reese, storm off dramatically, and then stand there waiting for applause like they just dropped the hottest mixtape of 2025. And the parents in the bleachers, half of them will clap just because they don't want to look unsupportive. And what's worse is how people spin it. You'll see takes about how Angel Reese set boundaries and protected her peace. Okay, fine, but sports aren't a yoga retreat. Protecting your peace is great in a meditation app. Not when you've got teammates depending on you to play through the fourth quarter. That's not boundaries. That's abandonment. And it's wild that we're pretending otherwise. Let's not forget, role models don't just represent themselves. They represent the whole sport. Angel Reese isn't just Angel Reese anymore. She's the girl kids want to be like. She's the girl getting endorsement deals. She's the face of the league, which means the way she carries herself matters. A lot.
Marsh has the toughest job because he's got to deal with the constant drama of Angel Reese and Angel Reese. Well, Casey, what do you mean? There's only one Angel Reese. There are two. There is Angel Reese Jr., the pretend basketball player, and there is Angel Reese Sr., better known as Mama Reese, the professional clapping back at the hater.
And yet, here we are, celebrating a meltdown like it's a highlight reel. And look, there are legendary stories of athletes who pushed through way worse. Michael Jordan's flu game, Kobe Bryant playing with a broken finger, Serena Williams battling through injuries and still winning. Even Caitlin Clark has played through relentless pressure and criticism without storming out mid-game. These athletes built legacies on resilience. Meanwhile, Angel Reese builds hers on reality show theatrics. If quitting mid-game gets a standing ovation, then what's next? A parade for forgetting your uniform? Fireworks for skipping practice? It's reality TV disguised as sports, and it's addictive. How do you build chemistry when you're not sure if they'll stick around past halftime? That's the kind of move that fractures locker rooms. It plants seeds of resentment. It creates an atmosphere where drama takes priority over teamwork. And while fans cheer in the moment, the reality is that it destroys the trust that actually wins championships. You can't build dynasties on walk-offs. You build dynasties on unity, grind, and loyalty. And right now, Angel Reese is teaching the opposite. Because here's the truth. Real toughness isn't about trash talk or flashy moments. It's not about clapping back online or throwing shade at opponents. Real toughness is about staying in the game when everything in you wants to quit. It's about fighting through frustration. It's about putting the team above your ego. And unfortunately, that's exactly what was missing in her walk-off moment. But the cheering makes it even worse, because now it's not just one player making a bad decision, it's a whole culture validating it. Fans are like enablers at this point, handing out applause the way parents hand out candy on Halloween. Except instead of sugar highs, this creates ego highs. And once you get a taste of being celebrated for quitting, why would you ever want to stop?
I think Angel Reese, and I'm saying this with my chest out, I think she's quit on the Chicago Sky. She's been claiming a back injury.
And don't get it twisted. This isn't some feminist victory either. This isn't about women athletes finally owning their choices. This is about lowering the bar so far that quitting is now framed as revolutionary. Women's sports don't need lowered standards. And if you think that's an exaggeration, just look at the way this moment blew up online. People weren't talking about the score. They were talking about the walk-off. The drama already overshadowed the sport. The bigger tragedy is that Angel Reese is talented. She doesn't need to play these games. She has the skills, the spotlight, the platform. She could have been known as the grinder, the fighter, the star who carried women's basketball into its next era.
Angel Reese, this is enough. She said, I can't wait for this season to end. But why are you calling my name? I need a little break from America for real. Girl, do you know that Hawaii is in America? You must be the dumbest thing to ever walk this earth. You talking about you make 1,400 in 7 days, while we make it in a week. Same thing. I'm starting to think you're dumb, Angel Reese, or you're clip farming. You're trying to be like Flight, but
instead, she's choosing to be known as the walking headline, the drama queen of the court. And no matter how many points she scores later, this walk-off will stick to her legacy like glue. And speaking of legacy, what kind of message does this send to sponsors? To networks? To people who are finally putting money into women's basketball? Or do you stick with athletes who embody resilience and inspire viewers to stick around? This isn't just a bad look for Reese, it's a bad look for the entire league. At the end of the day, fans need to decide what they actually want. Do they want women's basketball to grow into a respected professional, inspiring sport? Or do they want it to devolve into a reality show where clapping for chaos becomes the main attraction? Because right now, the applause says one thing loud and clear. They want the drama.